Let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got 'em for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again, it's MRN's Wing Nation Weekend presented by Hefner Racing Products, setting you up for the big race weekend. Now, we know a lot of you are listening to this, and we've got great stories for you to tell. Some of you are watching. Those of you listening, you need to go to wingnation.com and watch this, because we are on location, and we'll try to paint a picture with the audio podcast. But yeah, this one's a video podcast because we are here at Hefner Racing Products. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post, Barry Jackson, competition director, team manager over at David Gravel's team. He's going to join us. Jeff Wessell from HRP Racing is going to join us as well. But Erin, it's Knoxville, and I'm just getting this whole family reunion vibe. Even people we know, some people we don't know. It's like it's just so much fun.
Oh, absolutely. Even just walking through the Midway just to come over here, we're getting stopped in every which direction. It's awesome, and you can feel the energy building. It's night one, and we're ready to go.
Yep, absolutely it is. We are here at Hefner Racing Products, and we're just in and amongst the great products that they have here. I mean, the wings are what they're known for, the HRP wings, and that's what they're known for. But they're also known for the, exactly, the
mule. It's a mule.
Yes, the mule. A couple weeks ago, I called it something else. So it's the mule, and this is what the teams push around the sprint cars in, and you see the big toolbox there and everything. So our friends at Hefner Racing Products, and we'll talk a little bit more about all they offer. They do such a great job with all of motorsports and all of their programs. But Erin, it's great to be here at Hefner Racing Products, but I can't wait to talk to Barry Jackson. We talk to drivers. It's always cool to talk to a team manager or crew chief.
My engineering side loves to talk to the crew chiefs, to talk about the preparation for this week and what goes into it. The drivers kind of get all the glory, but to hear the crew chiefs talk about the effort they put into preparedness, it's just, I'm looking forward to talking to them.
Absolutely, and Barry is one of the best, and we'll be back in just a moment with Barry Jackson.
No matter what or where you race, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings has you covered. Built in the USA, HRP is the manufacturer of the original recessed rivet wing, including their premier Shark Wing series, as well as the new Racer Series Sprint Car Wing. Hefner Racing Products wings are available for sprint cars, mini and micro sprints, winged outlaw karts, and junior sprints. HRP is the leader in mule conversions, manufactures and sells a full line of sprint car components, including Nerf bars and bumpers, front axles, precision laser cut chassis building tabs, brackets, tubes, and spuds. HRP has the absolute largest selection of trailer and shop accessories available to sprint car racers. When it comes to setting up your trailer or shop, HRP is the choice for the best in trailer and shop storage and organization accessories. Hefner Racing Products. Visit them and shop online at hrpracing.com. Now back to the Wing Nation Weekend Podcast, presented by Hefner Racing Products.
It is MRN's Wing Nation Weekend, presented by Hefner Racing Products, setting you up for the big race weekend. And of course, the big race weekend is the 58th annual 5-Hour Energy Knoxville Nationals, presented by Casey's General Store. Now, as you know, we're all over Knoxville, and we've talked to virtually every driver, but today we want to talk to one of the guys that really makes it happen. Barry Jackson, General Manager, Crew Chief for David Gravel. And Barry, do you get as fired up about Knoxville as the rest of Sprint Car Nation does, or is it just a longer, harder day at the office?
Well, no, we get fired up. It's something we probably start working for as soon as you leave here last year. And we had an unfortunate motor problem here that knocked us out of this thing leading the race last year. So it's been that was a bad feeling. So it's something that we've been working on ever since. And yeah, there's just something about Knoxville that you put extra everything into it.
Barry, even though that was a part failure last year, as a crew chief, I'm sure you feel somewhat responsible, even though it wasn't. How do you prepare and try to prevent things from like that happening again?
Well, when like in that case, it was a crankshaft and 4-race old motor that just happened to and that was manufacturers looked at it, my motor builder looked at it, so it was under the microscope, and I think they've made some changes, and you just hope that it's something that we lean on things here a little bit harder than we normally do too. So it could have been on our end a little bit, but you just hope that you cover all the bases and you have all that kind of stuff covered.
You mentioned you lean on things a little bit more. It is Knoxville, big track, half-mile track. The car that wins the Knoxville Nationals, it probably has to do everything. Is this maybe one of the ultimate tests for sprint cars as far as building and preparing and setting up these cars?
I think especially World of Outlaw teams are 99.9% prepared every race we go in. There's just a little extra that's put into all this. There's so much involved here, qualifying, getting through that heat race. Your qualifying night sets you all up for Saturday, so it's probably just more stress than anything, but I think we're 100% prepared, I think, for everything. It's just, you really want to do well here.
Yeah.
Of course. You and David obviously were leading last year, very fast year. But what are the finer points, the things that you work on when you come here? Is it motor? Is it qualifying? Is it aero? Is it shocks? What are some of the finer things that you work on to get that slight edge?
Probably a little bit of everything you just mentioned. You extra fine tuning the shocks and looking at all the dyno graphs. I know with the package that we in particular had here last year. Now there's been a few little changes. Seems like the tire's a little bit different this year. So when we came here a month ago for the Outlaw shows, we came in with what we had last year, with what little tweaks you have to make this year because the tire deal seems a little bit different. And it translated well. We laid dyno graph sheets over dyno graph sheets and kind of, this is actually, in our case, this is the same race car. This race car's only ever seen this dirt. It ran the 2 Outlaw shows at Knoxville last year, ran here at the Nationals, took it home, put it away, and now it's back. It is the same engine, obviously new crank, rebuilt, but that all translated pretty well. We were, I think, third, and we won when we were here in June. So, but to answer your question a little, fuller, you just in a little more detail, cover all the bases a little bit more. And but it's in all areas. It's the handling. When this place starts to slick off, you got to be able to move around. So you got to be able to run the bottom. You got to be able to cross the center. And if it builds a lip, you got to have your car nice enough that it'll roll the lip too. So it's car handling. Most people, there's a lot of guys here that have good running motors anymore. Used to be, there'd be a handful that would just have a better motor. That's hard to get anymore. So a lot of motors run really well. So now you got to do it more so, I think, on the car. And then the driver really has to have a good, which David does, he has to have a good feel of how to make speed here. Your guys like Donnie Schatz and Brian Brown, Kerry Madsen, those guys have, a ton of experience here. And they know you can't lose momentum here. You have to keep, it seems like if somebody makes a mistake, they lose 20 car lengths. Or if you're really hitting it, you can gain 20. So it's just a little bit of everything.
Barry, final question before we let you get back to it here as you prepare for your prelim night here at Knoxville as you get ready to go here. How do you enjoy Knoxville without getting too wrapped up? And you and your guys and David, this is a party. This is a big event, and you want to enjoy the event, but you want to go do your job. How do you as a leader of the team make sure that you guys balance that?
We did something different last year, and we did not race Sunday night, and we did not race the Front Row Challenge, and that just seemed to, I don't know, relax everybody, get my guys rested, because we've been since before the King's Royal. It just seems like it's been every day. And then we were back at my shop preparing all the stuff here for Knoxville, getting Knoxville car ready. And we also have to be prepared, because I'm based out of Pennsylvania, I have to be prepared for a Northwest and West Coast swing yet. It's 20-some more races. So, you know, that's why we haven't pressed the issue on the extra races. I wasn't going to bring that car back in and risk anything on Sunday. And I wasn't going to bring another car out and run it, because then you get false, you know, every car acts a little different. Every set of everything acts a little different. So we weren't going to get any false. So I'm hoping that our game plan, and so basically what we do is let the crew guys get rested up. Of course, I think they're a dingus most of the time whenever, so. But I know me being mid-50s now, I got to get the extra rest. So, you know, we try to have some fun. We had team dinner out. We stay out the cabins at the lake. We had team dinner out there, you know, cookout last night. And just try to, years ago, I was with Danny Lasowski, and he was, you know, he's one of the best ever here. And a couple years I got to do the Knoxville Nationals with him, and he had won it a couple times. Was you just have to go in there and race it like any other race. Don't put the extra pressure on.
Well, we wish you the best. You had one get away from you last year. Maybe you can get it back this year.
Oh, we're going to try.
There we go. That is Barry Jackson. He, of course, is the team manager, competition director for David Gravel's team, the Go Muddy team. We need to step away. When we come back, more. We're at the Hefner Racing Products display. We'll talk with Jeff Wessell from Hefner in just a moment.
No matter what or where you race, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings has you covered. Built in the USA, HRP is the manufacturer of the original recessed rivet wing, including their premier Shark Wing series, as well as the new Racer Series Sprint Car Wing. Hefner Racing Products wings are available for sprint cars, mini and micro sprints, winged outlaw karts, and junior sprints. HRP is the leader in mule conversions, manufactures and sells a full line of sprint car components, including Nerf bars and bumpers, front axles, precision laser cut chassis building tabs, brackets, tubes, and spuds. HRP has the absolute largest selection of trailer and shop accessories available to sprint car racers. When it comes to setting up your trailer or shop, HRP is the choice for the best in trailer and shop storage and organization accessories. Hefner Racing Products. Visit them and shop online at hrpracing.com. Now back to the Wing Nation Weekend Podcast, presented by Hefner Racing Products.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Wing Nation Weekend, presented by Hefner Racing Products, and we always talk about our friends at Hefner Racing Products. This week, we're here at Hefner Racing Products, here in their display area at the Knoxville Nationals. My buddy Jeff Wessell is here. What's going on? Man, it's great to see you in person.
It is great to be seen in person, especially here at the Knoxville Nationals, what I consider probably the greatest event in all of dirt track racing. There's always a great time to be back out amongst the thrones of our sprint car fans, drivers, teams, and of course, yourself and Erin joining us today.
Exactly.
Jeff, how important is it to your business to be out here? Obviously, people can come and see all the great products that you make, but just the networking and spending time with the teams, how important is it to be here this week?
It's very important for us to be here, not only during the week, but also even weeks prior to the Knoxville Nationals. Our crew spends a lot of time getting orders ready, not only for our valued dealers and distributors, the race teams that ask us to bring product down for the entire Knoxville Nationals run, starting at the 360 Nationals. It's vital. Those few weeks leading up to this event, starting off, of course, as we roll into the 410 Nationals, it's great for us to be here to give that presence, to give the support to the drivers and the teams, whether they need information, whether they need support parts, or, of course, complete wing assemblies or information on a lot of our accessories that we build.
Jeff, one of the things when we do our Wing Nation programs, I just kind of, when I'm listing off all the things you do, and I talk about karting and sprint cars and stock cars and everything, and I finally just throw my arms up and say, they have everything. How do you describe what you have? How do you describe that?
The easiest way for me to describe it, Steve, is to let folks know we are basically involved in every genre of motorsports, and it begins at the karting rinks, at the quarter midget rinks, everything into IMCA modifieds, of course the sprint cars, which is our main staple with the wings and the bumpers and the axles. Pretty much any type of motorsports that there is, road racing, and of course NASCAR, we are involved with tremendously. We're a very diverse company, and sometimes it keeps a little bit for us to get too excited and you have to rein it in a little bit. Yeah. But it is good knowing that we build a very well product and everything that we do, that we are wanted so much in every genre.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have. Talking about sprint cars, you've been around sprint car racing for a long time. We talked to a lot of the drivers about how the sport is growing and the Knoxville Nationals is getting bigger and more coverage. Well, what about from your side of things? Is it growing for the business as well?
I couldn't say more happily that right now I believe, in my opinion, and I would believe the Hepfner family and all our valued employees would say the same thing. I believe the industry, especially on the sprint car side of things, is fabulous. It's the best it's been that I can recall, even as a youngster growing up, watching the sport, as a young man driving and being a part of the sport, and now making it a career. Right now, in the last 2 years, I'd say this sport is tremendous, and it is great to be a part of how the outlook is.
Very, very positive. You just talked about it. We've had a lot of fun talking about your racing career. You talked about a young man driving. Now you've climbed back behind the wheel of a race car, and I saw you were doing a mini sprint. But then did I see a Legends car also? What? I think my question to you is: have you lost your mind, or are you enjoying getting back behind the wheel?
I have to say, 2018 has been one of my favorite years as far as a driver. I will attest that I'm probably out of my prime. Okay, I'm out of my prime driving style wise, but I've had a blast running the mini sprint for Daywalt Motorsports back home. Kevin and Holly offered me the opportunity, along with their sons Kyle and Nick, to run the mini sprint this year. I've had a blast. It's been a great time, and the Hepfner family owns a Legends car that has been kind of sitting and resting, and they asked me, hey, on an off night of the mini sprint, want to go try one of these again. So I've been having a blast. It's great to be back involved as a seasoned veteran now. It's been fun. I know my limitations, but I also know that I have quality equipment underneath me any given night, that winning equipment anytime in either one of those cars, and I'm having a blast. I couldn't be more blessed and thankful for the opportunities that I have.
Well, Steve's still looking for one of your T-shirts. He mentions it a lot. T-shirts, merchandise.
I will do my best, whether it be HRP merchandise or if I have to specifically make a Daywalt Motorsports, Jeff Wessell, Steve Post, I love you kind of T-shirt. I'm there.
Absolutely, and I would wear that with pride. Finally, you also, one of the other things you do is you do your own racing show up there, covering racing up in your neighborhoods. Where can people find it? Where can people follow along? Tell us about your radio show.
Easiest thing for folks to do is, of course, Facebook being the main staple of social media. The Drivers Meeting. Look it up right on Facebook. It's right there. We broadcast. Actually, they're having a show tonight without me. How are they doing this? Yeah. But it'll probably be the best show of the year. But I've been having a blast with that. I've been involved with local media for 20 plus years and a couple different capacities of radio shows. Several times interviewing even Erin when she was coming to the Wisconsin area racing her sprint car. I've learned a lot. I've had a blast with it. It's helped me out tremendously career-wise, racing-wise. It's been fun, and just to be involved back home as yourself. You're able to talk to the drivers, the crew members. It's a blast being a part of that, and that's what drives this sport, and that's what drives the energy and love and passion that I have for it.
The Drivers Meeting. You can find him there. You know, one of the things I say when we talk about Wessell, we talk about HRP racing, I said they're racers. I think we've shown that they're racers. So all of you out there looking for something to do in the racing, looking to purchase something in the racing, it's www.hrpracing.com. Erin, when we look at the calendar is all Knoxville.
Oh, yeah.
It's all Knoxville all the time. So, yeah, absolutely. You can follow us at wingnation.com. I'd like to remind you, on Saturday morning on MAV TV, Danny the Dude Lasowski is going to join us on our MAV TV show presented by Sage Fruit. We appreciate Jeff and everyone at HRP Racing for sponsoring and hosting us here today. More important, though, than all of that, thank you for joining us here on MRN's Wing Nation Weekend presented by Hepfner Racing Products.
This has been the Wing Nation Weekend Podcast, brought to you by Hepfner Racing Products. The Wing Nation Weekend Podcast is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.